Let me introduce you to Fujino. Fujino told me that she had a big problem. She said she reads a lot of manga and wants to start making manga too, but she doesn't really know how to start. She wanted a solution for this issue, and so I asked her a simple question. Yujino, do you know what makes a good manga? She replied, a good story? She was not far off, but at this point I told her about a specific method, and indeed, it worked. Thanks to that method, she made the right step into becoming a mangaka. And today, we will explain this method to you in a simple and practical way. So get ready and let's get started.
僕は漫画家になりたかった。
Welcome to the first episode of the new series, Path to Mangaka, where we will be talking about everything that goes into making manga from the beginning until the end. So if you're new to making manga and you have no idea how to start, then this series is absolutely perfect for you. Let's get started. Let me tell you about the beginner mangaka trap. So Fujino was inspired by long-running mangas like Naruto and One Piece, just like a lot of you right now. And so she decided that she actually wants to make a manga by herself too. But wait, why is Fujino so sad and frustrated? Well, she is so sad and frustrated because her manga is not as good as these long-running mangas, right? And this is not a, wonder, this is not a surprise. Making these long-running mangas is not a realistic goal for newbies, right? It is not realistic at all. So they have false expectations. And still, most people start with making a long manga, which is why they end up quitting, just like Fujino at the start. And they never end up finishing anything, and so you don't want to do that. And so do not start with long-running mangas like Naruto or One Piece. Okay, this is the most important thing at the beginning. Do not do that. You have to start with something else. So what do you exactly start with? Well, remember about the method that I told Fujino about in the beginning of the video? She's doing it right now, and this method is called Yonkoma. So Yonkoma is basically a manga that has only 4 panels, right? An example for Yonkoma is Pop Team Epic. So Pop Team Epic is basically a manga that was made only by Yonkomas, right? So every single page looks exactly like this. Okay, and so this is the shortest form of manga. And now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, why should I start with a 4-panel manga? I want to create a real manga. But the answer for that is actually pretty simple, okay? The answer for that is to learn the fundamentals of storytelling. Because with Yonkomas, you are going to be learning the storytelling in the best way possible. Right? Because Yonkoma teaches the most popular storytelling method in manga. And this storytelling method is called Kishotenketsu. So Kishotenketsu is basically a method for storytelling that is used in Japan and in manga in general, and it is used in most mangas that you are reading right now. And so this method has 4 parts. Kishotenketsu. Ki stands for the introduction. Sho starts for the development, ten stands for the twist, and ketsu stands for the conclusion. And you can see that in the graph right here. Now let me just show you an example so you can actually understand what this Kishotenketsu method is all about. So you see here we have a Yonkoma, so 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 4 panels, and in Yonkomas you can see that this method is being used because in every panel you have one of these parts. So in the first panel you have the key part, so the introduction part, and in this one the boy is looking at the girl. We are introduced to the characters, nothing is really happening, we see that there's a boy here and a girl here, and this boy is looking at this girl, nothing happened. Then we have the second panel, which is the development, show, and it shows that the boy is making a funny face. So now we actually see what the boy is actually doing, and so it looks like he's making a funny face, and he's trying to trigger this girl. Okay, now in the third panel, where the twist will come, so the 10, the girl indirectly threatens the boy. So what does she say? Did you know that mechanical pencils are very sharp? So she's indicating that she's about, to stab him with that sharp pencil or something, and that she's about to kill him. And so this is the twist. A twist happened in the story. And so the fourth panel, which is the conclusion, Ketsu, the boy pulls back. And so he realizes, well, this girl is about to kill me, and I don't want to have anything to do with this, and she says a wise decision, right? So this is very, very simple, and this is all you need when you make a yonkoma. It's a very simple concept, and that's all that you need. Now this concept and this method, Kishotenketsu, is used in most mangas, just as I said. But to actually learn it, you have to start like this. You have to start small. But the thing is, most people that start making manga tend to skip this method. But, unfortunately, they just end up making very bad mangas. But here's the thing. You are learning from manga school, and here in manga school we are not going to let you make bad mangas. And so now it's your turn. So you have to draw a yonkoma just like Fujino. So what do you exactly do? Okay, what do you exactly do? So the first step is to draw 4 boxes, just like here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You draw 4 boxes. Then step 2 is to write Kishotenketsu next to these boxes. So you write ki here, sho here, ten, and ketsu. Okay? And step 3 is to start drawing. That's literally all you have to do. Now, to make things more clear and easier for you, let me tell you exactly what you should do in every single part of this method. So, in the first part, which is the key part, so the introduction, you should set up the characters, setting, and a premise. So, in the development part, expand on the situation without introducing a major twist. In the 10 part, so when the twist should happen, introduce an unexpected turn in the story or just a new perspective, okay? Then, lastly, in the ketsu part, so in the conclusion, just resolve the story. Now, the benefits of that is going to be that you are going to practice storytelling. This is very important. You are going to practice the most important thing when it comes to making manga. And so you will be learning the basics of the basics the right way. This is the best way to learn the fundamentals of storytelling, okay? Now, your homework is to basically draw 5 yonkomas, okay? I don't want you to worry about the quality at all, so do not worry about the quality of the manga. As for now, we only need volume. You want to make as many of these as you can, so you can make more than 5 for sure, okay? And it does not have to look good. Like, you can even use Stickman to draw that, because right now, art and all of these things are not the focus. The focus right now is the story. Story is the most important thing right now. And so if you need some inspiration to make your yonkoma, there are a lot of examples in the descriptions that you can use as inspiration. Now, I want you to ask yourself and imagine what will actually happen if you make a lot of them, right? If you make a lot of them, you will build very strong fundamentals. And so even though this concept and this method is pretty simple, you are still going to be ahead of most people starting to make manga, just like Fujino. Because Fujino is doing this right now as well, and she is getting so much better at storytelling, and she is going to be ahead of most people trying to start making manga this year. And so if you also make yonkomas just like Fujino, you are going to be friends with her. So now that's you and that's Fujino, and you guys are friends because both of you are making yonkomas right now, okay? So just like in school, there's always a book that gets recommended to students that they can always go back to and, learn from. And in our case, the book that we are recommending is Manga in Theory and Practice, The Craft of Creating Manga by the awesome author of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Hirohiko Araki. So in this book, he basically talks about his techniques and philosophies that he uses to make manga stories and create characters. And so if you like reading and you like learning by reading, then this book is absolutely perfect for you. Now, I know that when you clicked on this video and started watching this episode, you thought to yourself that you are going to create an entire manga. But the thing is, remember, this is only episode 1 of this new Path to Mangaka series. And so, we will 100% teach you how to make an entire manga in the future episodes. But for now, we just wanted to focus on the basics of the basics, okay? So make sure to make your homework and also make sure to subscribe to watch the next episodes if you want to make an entire manga by yourself in the future. With that being said, see you in the next episode.
僕は漫画家になりたかった。
So because you stayed until the end, I have a little surprise for you. In the description you will find a PDF that summarizes and recaps everything we talked about in this video, and also you can exactly see what your homework is and a lot of inspirations to make Yonkomas as promised. Thank you a lot for watching until the end.